everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve, and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last build, we went sci-fi when we built the Romulan Disruptor Rifle from Star Trek The Next Generation. If you missed that build, we're going to include the link in the description below to our channel's homepage, so you can go over there and check out Romulan Disruptor Rifle or any of the other cool builds there. Now for this build, we're going to go action movie. So, without further ado, Black Sheep Props would like to introduce you to the newest member of the family. That's right, Black Sheep Props sisters, this one's for you. Check it out, you know what it is. It's the psychotic little baby, the fun gun. Harley Quinn's M79 Grenade Launcher from the movie Birds of Prey. Check that out. Craziness. Beautiful in all of its insane glory. Look at that. Grenade launcher with the wooden stock, the wooden grip at the bottom. We've got the kind of oxidized black metal barrel and all the crazy house graphics all over it, which don't need any templates because she was insane. And she painted it by hand, so you're not insane, I don't think, so you should be able to paint it by hand. So check that thing out, man, super cool. So in this episode, making an EVA foam M79 Grenade Launcher Part 1, we're going to begin going step by step through how to make this little girl right here. And if you want to build your own, we have a template, so we'll include the link in the description below to our storefront if you want to go grab a template and make your own crazy gun. So that's it. If you're ready to hit it, let's make something. All right, here we go. We're going to start Harley Quinn's Jammin' Grenade Launcher with this big 36mm honkin' piece of foam for the butt end of our weapon. So we're going to go ahead over to the scroll saw and the bandsaw and knock this out. All right, there we go. Look at that. That is sweet. Okay, now we're going to take this 6mm piece and we're going to cut it out, and it's going to attach right to the front of here. But before we do that, the top of this piece is going to be curved, and that's exactly the same curve as our barrel is going to be. And now what we need to do is we need to make that same curve right here on the end of this handle, so that when it all attaches, the round curve here matches the round curve on the handle. So we drew a center line right through there. This is the circle right here that my thumb is through on the circle guide. That's the same diameter we need. So we're going to come in and we are going to, there we go. All right, now that's our circle. Just like. All right, we're going to take out our smooth bit. We're going to put our beast bit in, our super rough bit. All right, that is nice. Okay, now we're going to get our smooth bit in and we're going to smooth it out. Woo, man, hot dog, look at that. Nice, we got the round top right here. Got a nice soft edge all the way around the whole thing. We carved out a little bit in here just to fit it. Nice. All right, now we're gonna come in with our 220 sanding stick. Oh, wow, that is nice. Let's add a little bit more with our 320 sanding stick. That's even finer. All right, that is mighty smooth. We've got the round top, tapers. We carved out a little bit down in here, rounded off all the edges. That is a nice handle. Beautiful. Okay, we've got a 6mm and a 10mm piece. We're gonna attach them and then cut them out. And get a piece here as a support for our ruler. Now we're gonna tip our knife and we're gonna cut this on a bevel. So we're gonna line our markup. We're gonna tip our knife over and we're going to slide right through like that. Right, there we go. Look at that. Nice bevel cut right there. Perfect. Just like that. All right, beautiful. Now we can come in and we can line this up right at the bottom just like that, and then we'll cut the whole piece out. Now you know the drill. 2 pieces, both have cement on them. You gotta let it dry completely and then it can make contact. Slide right through. There we go. Now we can come in with our X-Acto knife and cut the curves. Curve right out the side. Same thing here. Start in the corner and curve right out the side. Now we can come in and make our top curve, standing the knife up so we can get a nice pivot. There you go. Right there. Perfect. All right, there we go. Nice and soft. Rounded edges everywhere. Now this is... Okay, now we're going to put this down at the top, flush, just like that. No. All right, we're down nice there. Now we're going to stretch this, just like that. Perfect. Wow. All right. Pretty close right there. We're going to be putting a piece on top, so it's going to be nice. What we might even do too is we might come in with our Dremel and clean it up just a little bit. Let's try that. Get our smooth bit on there. Let's clean it up. All right, there we go. That's pretty nice. Let's seal it. There we go. That's nice. All right, there we go. Flush. All right, now we're going to start working on our barrel. We're going to take this 36mm foam dowel, and we want it a little bit thicker, so we're going to wrap it with a 4mm piece. All right, we took our measurement from here to here, so we know it's going to be the proper distance. That's from here to here. All right, so what we're going to do first, you know what we do when we do a wrap. We want the 2 sides to come around and touch perfectly, so we cut a slight bevel on the end. All right, so we're going to come over to here, just like that. Same thing on this side. pinch our seam together. Kiss it together, then push it down. Right there. We could use the box cutter, but if we tip it even a hair, it's not going to be 90 degrees, so we're going to go and knock these two off on the bandsaw. All right, there we go. Look at that. That is beautiful. All right, now we're going to come in, we're going to clean up this glue residue real quick. Nice. All right. All right, now we're going to start working on the wood grip that's going to go underneath the barrel. And we've got two pieces of foam, an 18 and a 12 millimeter. We've got our shape drawn out. We've also got a second set of lines in here. And the reason we're doing that is each of these are going to need a bevel. This 12 millimeter is going to have a big bevel on both sides. This 18 millimeter is going to have a small one just on the two corners. I guess in woodworking they call that a chamfer. So there you go, woodworking tip in our foam build. How about that? Okay, so here we go. We're going to go over to the bandsaw. We're going to tip our table. All right, here is the actual way the side view is supposed to look. It's going to have a slight bevel, and we transferred it over to there. See that? We've got a bevel this way and a bevel that way. So we're going to use this piece of paper as the guide. So we tip our table to just the right angle, and then we're going to send this through to get those angle cuts. All right, there we go. Check it out. See that? We've got a bevel this way and this way all along the whole piece, just like that. All right, let's go ahead and knock this end cut off. All right, there we go. Now we're going to do the 18 millimeter piece. All right, this is going to have a slight bevel just on one corner. We're going to do that with the Dremel. All right, there we go. All right, now we're going to come in with our Dremel, and we're going to Dremel a bevel. All right, now what we did is we took our 18 millimeter piece, and it had a square edge on both sides, but we wanted this end to have this curve right here. So we drew our line and we took it over to the bandsaw and we cut it out so it has this curve. So when this comes in and these two match up, we've got this curve at the bottom and we've got this bevel at the top. All right, and line up flush here at the edge, right there. We're going to use our Sharpie marks too to guide where we're laying down. There we go. Perfect. That's it. That's our piece right there. Nice. All right, now comes the interesting part. All right, the handle's going to come in here. This is going to line up with the bottom right there. The barrel's going to come in and match up right against here, so we're all lined up everywhere, but we're going to have to cut a notch out of the bottom of our barrel so that this base sits up in there, right? So we're going to have to make some measurements, and then we're going to have to cut out a channel at the bottom of our barrel so everything fits together, right? So we're going to do some measuring, and then we'll hit it. All right, now this is going to be kind of tricky because what we're going to have to do is we are going to have to cut a little notch out of this side. Now when we go to send it through the bandsaw like this, as you're sending it through the bandsaw, if you accidentally roll the piece, your cut's not going to stay perpendicular. It's going to start bending, and we don't want that. So how do we keep this from rolling back and forth as we're sending through the blade? Really simple. We took a couple pieces of double stick tape. All right, there we go. Now what we're going to do is we want to position it where it's perpendicular the way we want it, which is right about like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece as a guide, and it's flat at the bottom. We're going to slide it right up to there, and we're going to stick it. All right, look at that. It's stuck down on there now. Not permanent, because it's only double stick tape. Perfect. Now we know when we lay this down and we send it through the bandsaw, it's going to keep our dowel perfectly straight up, so our cut's going to be perpendicular. All right. Kind of some goofball engineering you have to do here, but this, again, this is going to hold it so that our cut stays perpendicular as we slide through the bandsaw. All right, there we go. See that? This wedge worked out perfectly. That's a totally perpendicular cut. Now what we got to do is pull that off just like that. Now, okay, now what we're going to do is we have a tiny little angle. We need to cut a little angle right here to match this angle. All right, so we'll make a mark. All right, there we go. We cut a little angle at the front. See that? So it comes over and it angles so that when this slides in, oh, it matches perfect. All right, there we go. Now we know we're in a really great spot up here at the front. Now this gives us our final back cut right there, and we'll be perfect. This matches perfectly up here at the front, and that matches perfectly at the back. There we go. Now, all right, come in with the 220 sanding stick just to smooth it out. All right, now we got a tiny little cut right there in the edge of our foam, but we can seal that with some super glue and a foam squeegee. Super glue down in there. We're gonna use our foam squeegee to get it down in that little gap. There we go, sealed. Perfect. Right here. Okay, this is going to line up at the bottom. This is going to line up at the top. Now we need to cut a series of notches out of this piece so that it fits right in here. All right, now let's make some measurements, really careful measurements, and then we will go ahead and cut this. Okay, so what we did was we set this over the top of it, and then this shows us down here where our cut needs to be. And there's our mark right there. All right, so we're going to go hit this on the bandsaw. All right, there we go. Look at that. Look at that notch right there. Now, here comes the moment of truth. Bingo! Good grief, man. That is crazy perfect. Wow, man, you screw this part up and man, you're in trouble because we've built all this already. We've already cut all this out. Wow, this was my most nervous part, but it wasn't that hard. All right. All right, there we go. We got down here in the corner, up against the front, this corner and up against the front, and all the way around there. Look at that. Look how nice that looks with this rounded detail right there. That is really cool. That is in there tight, and all this is crazy perfect. Bam. That is perfect. All right. All right. Give it a minute. Line it up here with our mark right at the top. And now we're going to, and right there, Oh, wow, that is cool, cool, cool. All right. Ha ha ha. There we go. Look at that whole thing right in here, man. That's crazy. Totally crazy. Near impossible to get everything to line up perfectly, but we are pretty darn close. Plus, we're going to be covering something over the top of this. So, all right, let's seal it. That's coming together, man. That looks like a grenade launcher. Loving this grip, though. Wow, this is really cool. Really cool. And it's kind of thick. We're thick all the way through, so we didn't use any support. We used no inner support, and you can bend it if you want, but you don't need to, and this really didn't need any support. It's pretty light this way. Cool. All right, now we're going to do this end piece for the barrel. We're going to cut the middle out of this 18mm piece, and we're going to stick it down to this 3, and then we're going to cut the whole thing out. All right, there we go. Simple. We're just going to make a hole. All right, there we go. It's just enough to feed the blade through on the scroll saw. So we're going to go over there, feed the blade through here, and cut the middle circle out. All right, there we go. Perfect. Now we're going to come in and we are going to stick this down on here. Okay, there we go. Now we got a recess in there. Now we're going to go back over to the scroll saw and we're going to knock all this out. All right, there we go. That's pretty nice. All right, let's clean it up. Let's go around the edges with the Dremel. Slightly round them off. All right, let's make our guide where we're going to stick it. All right, there we go. There's our mark. All the way around. Beautiful. Now we're going to stand this straight up like that, put pressure on it. Very cool. All right, now let's do this little spine that goes in the middle right here. All right, there we go. There's a little 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch piece of 4mm foam. All right, there's a puddle of super glue. All right, the bottom of it is all wet. We're going to stand it up right in the middle, just like that. All right, let's put a wrap around here. We're going to come in with this 3mm piece, and we're going to... All right, so if this comes in down here, and it wraps around, and it comes down to here, now we know this is our correct length. We can come in here and adjust our 3mm piece right to there. All right, we're going to get the end, and a little bit of the base. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right. Nice and smooth, just like that. Last little bit. We're going to get it down here. All right, there we go. Now we're going to wrap this around and we're going to stick it. Not bad. And again, this is why we wear gloves, because when you got to push down, you don't want your skin sticking. Peeling your skin off is not cool. All right, there we go. Simple little band holding the barrel to the handle. Nice. Okay, here comes our trigger and trigger guard assembly. Really easy stuff. We've got some 4mm, 6mm trigger, a 12mm dowel, and a 10mm for the trigger guard. All right, there we go, just like that. Now here's our 12mm dowel. All right, now we've got our 6mm trigger. All right, now we've got our 10mm trigger guard. We're going to do this on the scroll saw. All right, there we go. Got all of our pieces that are going to make up our trigger. Nice soft edge around it now. Very subtle, but makes it look finished. Right in our spot. Get a little bit of super glue on the tip of the trigger right there. And we'll center it inside the trigger guard right like that. Super glue right down the middle. We got We're going to use our X-Acto knife to get it in there. We're going to tighten it up. Wow, it feels good on there. Nice. All right, now we have the part that's going to sit on top, and it's made up of these pieces here. We've got a 2mm, an 18, and a 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to need to do some shaping to have it sit on the round top. But this is a simple piece. We'll start with this, the 2mm. All right, we're just Alright, now we're going to put pressure on it so it bends down in the little recesses and everything. And right here. Alright, there we go. Nice. Perfect. Super cool so far. And shall I say, crazy. That was it, man. We almost built the whole thing. We got everything done on here. You saw how we shaped out the stock of our grenade launcher, and then this whole middle section, the top of the stock, the little divider piece, and the barrel all had to match that round top so that it all looked right across the top. And then you saw us shape this 2-part wood stock at the bottom with a couple bevel cuts, a bunch of simple wrapping, that little gizmo at the front, and the whole trigger assembly. Really easy stuff, really easy and super fun. So that pretty much concludes making an EVA foam M79 grenade launcher part 1. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel, and together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.